All right, so let's proceed. So we are looking at data cleaning now, introduction to data cleaning. Introduction to data cleaning in Power BI. Introduction to data cleaning in Power BI. So let's start with what is data cleaning? I don't want to assume that we all understand what data cleaning is all about. Let's just kind of refreshing our memory. Then we will now zero in the ones we want to look at here. Right, data cleaning is an essential step. Data cleaning is an essential step in preparing data for analysis. Data cleaning is an essential step in preparing data for analysis. So it's one step that we can never meet as data analysts. We all know the importance of it. And visualization in Power BI. And visualization in Power BI. Continuation of that note, that's the concluding part of it. Data cleaning is an essential step in preparing data for analysis and visualization. Visualization in Power BI. So let's quickly look at overview of data cleaning in Power BI. I just want to highlight one or two key things you need to know as far as data cleaning here is concerned. Overview. So the first question is why data cleaning is important. Number one, data quality. Why data cleaning is important. Number one, data quality. Just to explain briefly, data cleaning helps ensure data quality by removing errors. Underline the word error. By removing error, underline that word error, inconsistencies, and inaccuracies. So once that is done, that improves your data quality. How many of us know that the data can be corrupt? Right? What makes data set to be corrupt? When you have wrong values imputed, automatically the whole of that data is corrupted. So there is need for you to do what? To remove those errors. Let's look at another reason why data cleaning is important is accurate analysis. Just in case you are considering skipping this step, just know that your analysis might not be accurate. Accurate analysis. Just to explain briefly. Clean data enables accurate analysis and insights. Clean data enables accurate analysis and insights. So the third reason why it's important to clean our data is better decision making. Better decision making. So I will just stop there so that we can look at the popular operation that can be recognized as what? Data cleaning here. Better decision making, just to explain. Clean data supports better decision making by providing reliable insights. Clean data supports better decision making by providing reliable insights. By providing reliable insights. By providing reliable insights. Are we together? By providing reliable insights. All right, now we have highlighted the importance of data cleaning. Now let's switch to the application and observe the steps on how to clean your data in Power BI. Number one, load the data sets into Power BI dashboard, which we have done. Load the data into Power BI desktop. So that should be your first step. So after you have loaded your data, just like I've done here, I have two different data sets loaded. One is healthcare, one is staff data. Now let's assume I want to do some cleaning on this healthcare data. Now, if you could remember, when we were loading this data, there was an option called transform. But we omitted because at that point, we are not thinking of cleaning. Our focus was just how to load it. So now that you have loaded the data, how do you revert back to that interface? In other words, how do you now display the data in Power Query environment, where you have access to the functions that will help you to either delete a column or delete a row or to perform other data cleaning operation. So your second step is select the data you want to query or transform. Select the data you want to query or transform. Select the data you want to query or transform. So once you have done that, in this case, the data set I want to query or transform is called what? You can see the name appearing here. So make sure that you are sure of what is displaying here as the name. Once you click on the data set, always check that particular section. That will give you an idea of the current selected data set. So once you have confirmed that, you go back to your home tab. That's your next step. Click on the home tab. These are things we have already explained. I believe you are writing down your step. Click on Home tab. Yes, click on home tab. So from home tab, you will see different options. So from here, what did you see? Remember when I was explaining these tabs, I told us that these tabs are broken into different groups, right? For example, at the moment, we are on Home tab, and under Home tab, we have a group called Clipboard. We have another group called Data. We have another one called Queries. So that is where the function we need is, which is Transform data. So once you click on it, it will drop this option. So your next step, select data, select transform data. And that automatically redirects you at that note. Select transform data, which automatically redirects you to Power Query components, which automatically redirects you to Power Query components, which we have already described earlier on, that is in charge of transforming your data and also loading your data into the Power BI dashboard. Redirects you to the Power BI query component. Automatically redirects you to Power BI
query components for cleaning your data. So why were you directed here? It's because you requested for what? Data cleaning functions. You need to access set of what? Data query functions. And you cannot access that when you are in your report view. Because it's a different pillar, it's a different component entirely. So if you had clicked on that transform at that point that you were loading the data, who can tell us the kind of environment will have been prompted? This. Then after you have cleaned up the data, once you do as if you are exiting, it will now go and select the word load. So you no longer redirected back to where you were before. So once you are done cleaning, it will automatically select what? Load. But what we did then, we click on what? Load. Why? Because we know how to what? To redirect ourselves, which is what we just did now. There are no problem. Just load the data. We will go to what? Home tab and select what? Data, transform data under query and end up what? Coming back to this cleaning environment. So now that we are here, so this is how you can actually call out the Power what? Query. So the next thing is that what? How do you now navigate here? So we now want to start looking at what? The main task. Why did we came to this environment? There are things we want to do, right? We want to clean the data. So like I said, this is just introduction because this topic is a whole 2 hour to 3 hours topic. But because we have used part of it for what? Loading data. So I will just start it and then complete it in our next what? Meeting. So what I want to focus on here is what? Certain cleaning functions that are used to clean data on the columns, because your data set is made of what? Columns and what? Rows. And under each of these columns or row, you now have what? Cells. So another topic now. Power BI column cleaning functions. Power BI columns cleaning functions. These are set of functions designed for cleaning column values in a given data set. Designed for cleaning column values in a given data set. So let's quickly look at what's under this main topic. We'll now have a subtopic called data cleaning operations. That is the possible things you'll be asked to do that falls under data cleaning operation. Number one, how to delete unwanted column from your loaded data set. How to delete unwanted column from the loaded what? Data set. Now, I want you to pay attention here. Look at the screen, outer right. So this is where you can preview. Let's assume that you have gone through this data set and you now discover that in the whole of this data set, you only need 2 columns. So let me select them by holding down my control button and then locate the billing amount. I don't know if I'll pass it. Do you know that what I've done now, I've selected what? Only what? 2 what? Column within what? This data set. Now, what is the operation here? In this data set, we are to delete all the columns except these 2 selected columns. Hello, are you with me? Now, there is a function that does that. So now write the step. Remember, what is the operation? Please, I want to capture the operation. So what is the operation? Good. And I have selected what? The ones I need, right? So your step number one, in order to achieve steps under each of the operation, I'll be giving all the steps. Steps on how to achieve this, how to delete what? Unwanted column. Step number one, click on the first required or needed column. Click on the first needed column. Click on the first what? Needed column. Are you with me? So the second step, don't worry, I'm coming to where I will capture what I did now. The second step, so this step is, it assumes that it's one column that you are removing first. Second step is click on manage column. Click on manage column. Click on what? Manage column. Now, nobody should operate. Just make sure you're observing and you are noting your step. Once you have clicked on manage column, how many options do we have there? One is what? Choose columns. The other one is what? Remove column. So your next step, click on remove columns option. Click on remove columns option. Click on remove column option. Now, from remove column option, we have how many of them? We have remove column and remove other column. I want somebody who is creative to tell me, remember that was, we selected two columns. Those ones that were selected, they are the ones I need. So which of these two options I'm going to select? Remove what? Other what? Column. Now, what happened? I have only what? The two of them. Have you completed your step? So let me give us 2 minutes to also achieve the same thing on any of the data sets. So identify the ones you want to retain and then use that option. So let's start. All right, notes. To select multiple columns to retain. Note, to select multiple columns to retain. To select multiple what? Columns to retain. To select multiple columns to retain. Hold down select the first column. Select the first column and hold down the control button. While clicking on other headers or columns. While clicking on other headers or columns. Select the first column and hold down the control button while clicking on other headers or columns. So that settles that. Now I want you to stay on the screen again. I want to show you something. So you see how powerful the AI we have here is. Look up. I want to show you something. You know, in Excel, if you undo 3 steps, let's say the first step you deleted something, you now continue the operation. You now probably added another column. Then the third one is that you now formatted a particular entry with the column. If you want to go back to the first one, you know that you must clean the last 2 steps as you press Ctrl Z, because you cannot skip, right? Now, see Powerbi here. Can you see this place where you have apply step? If there's anything you have done, it's tracking the issue of all your operations. So for any reason, if I want to return this without affecting this, I can go there and what? Return it. So now I want to return what I did here. What did I do here? I remove what? Other column. So I'll just click here. Click on this icon. What? To remove it. So you can undo. So just continue doing whatever you are doing. When you are through, if there's any mistake in between, you can go there and what? Return it without affecting the last option, which you cannot do across what? Other programs. Okay, so that is first thing. Remember I said today, I am focusing on what? Data cleaning operation. That have to do with what? Columns only. So the next class, I will now focus on what? Other ones like rows. So what we have done now is how to delete what? Column. Now, another way you can delete, just watch, another way you can delete, if the selected column is the one you want to remove. So which means that what? So you write how to delete the selected column. That one is what? How to delete what? Unselected what? Column. The other one. That one deleted the ones you did not select. Why this one will delete the selected what? Column. How to delete the selected column. Select the column you want to delete from the data set. Select the column you want to delete from the data set. Select the what? The column you want to delete from the data set. So the next step, click on Manage Columns. Click on Manage Columns. Click on Manage Column. Then select Remove Column option. So remember that you could have also used that same way of holding down the control and select what? The number of columns you want to delete. And then when you come here and click on this, all those selected columns was removed. Now I have removed only this. So the next data cleaning operation, all these ones are under what? How to delete what? Columns, right? So the next data operation, the next data cleaning operation is what? How to change data type. How to change data type in a column. How to change data type in a column. How to change data types in a column. Now, let's quickly go back to our Python knowledge. In Python, we treated what? Different types of what? Programming data types, right? Where we mentioned integer, where we mentioned what? String, boolean, floats. Under integer, we have how many types of numbers? Under number data type in Python, how many types we have? We have integer and what? Floats. How do we differentiate them? Integers are whole number. Why? All right, good. Now, let me show us a secret how you know under which category of data the set of values in a column are classified. Once you see 1, 2, 3, that is what? That is integer, whole numbers. Check what we have here. No point, no decimal point on any of this, right? When you see A, B, C, D, they are what? String. When you see this is what? String. When you see this, now let me walk you through all of them. When you see this is what? Date, format. Then when you see what? This is what? String, right? Now, what do you see here? Once you see 1.2, that is what? Floating number. No, are you getting it? Okay, now, currently, what type of data is this? Integer, right? Now we want to change it to what? String. We want to change it to what? Another. That is what the topic says. Because there are times, listen, there are times you may be performing some tasks or some analysis with some very complicated dash functions. And then those functions might be having error in what? Identifying what? Data type. So you might have to bring data here and change the what? The type in order what? For the dash function to work. So all these I am showing us now, you might not be facing the challenge, but from experience, I know that you will encounter them. So how do I change it? Steps. Steps, how to change data type. In this case now, we are changing from integer. Step number 1, right-click on the column. Right-click on the column to change its data type. Right-click on the column to change its data type. Right-click on the column to change its what? Data type. Right-click on what? The column to change what? Its what? Data type. Now you can see what? Change what? Type. That's your next step. Click on what? Change type. So you can see the one that is correctly checked is the one you are using, which is what? Whole number. Change type. So you have all the major what? Data type what? Listed. So let's say we want to change from this to what? Percentage. Now let's go and check now. Look at it now. They have changed. So you can be given data like this, and in your analysis, this is like giving you some issues. So you quickly come here and what? Right click. And then now this is what I was saying. Now look up, look up, look up. The operation has been tracked here. This is here. This is where you change what? Data type. Let's say, for example, you don't want to go through the right clicking, changing back to what? Whole number. You just want to reverse what was here. You click what? Here. You have returned everything. Is that taken? Okay, so you can see some things that makes Power BI to be senior brother to Excel. So they are not meet at all. So now let's do one more thing. It's just an intro. Let's do one more thing. Is how to split values in a column. Everything I am considering they are under what? Column. And I'm not sure that I'll even finish all the column operations. How to split what? Values in what? In a column. Now, let me show us a perfect scenario where you will need this. Look up. A perfect scenario where you will need this. Let's assume that, do we have a column names? Where is it here? Is it part of the ones I've deleted? Okay, let me return those columns. Okay, good. I love this. This is a very perfect option. Now, you are given this data. What you have here, Bobby, is what? Is it the first name of the customer? Then the Jackson is what? The surname. Now, your analysis says that what? You are to analyze a particular value in a column per their surname, but the data given to you, they are together. So how do you split them now? You don't tell the person that entered that, oh yeah, go and separate. It will be very difficult for you to do that in Excel. It's possible in Excel, but it's very stressful. Now, yes, you can split it. Yes, or you concatenate, good. Now, but the data has already been given to you in this format. So how do you split? Then look, there might be a scenario. Yes, I'm just giving you an introduction. I believe you have written the heading now. How to what? Split values in a column, right? In this case now, we are splitting the values in what? Name. So we want to end up having first name, or let's say first name and what? Surname. So I was giving us a note that what? There might be a scenario where the customer name the customer first name and the surname must have been merged in a column. Where customer what? First name and surname must have been merged in a column. And your analysis requires separating them. And your analysis requires separating them. And your analysis requires what? Separating them. Therefore, to achieve this, that will not be your step now. Therefore, to achieve this, therefore, to achieve this, therefore, to achieve this, therefore, to achieve this, e.g., splitting what? Remember, I believe you must have written that. You don't have to write that again. We are focusing on what? Header, name, right? Step number 1, right-click on the header to split its value. 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 And select what? Split column. And select split column. Select split column. Are you with me? Now, once you click on split column, how many options do we have there? By delimiter, by number of character, by position. All these are criteria based on the structure of that data. Probably look at the data we have now. They are separated by space. Have you noticed that? The Bobby and Jackson, what is separating them is what? Space. There might be a scenario where the current data you want to separate, what is separating them might be what? Might be upper what? Case. So you have to identify which one. So your next step, choose the separator, e.g., just list few of them, and then you write it is. Choose what? The separator. So for me, I'm going to use the delimiter, and then from there I will choose space. Choose what? Your separator. E.g., just write delimiter by number of character, then. So I choose it. Now it brought out what? This. So me, I'm going to use what? Look at this. When you click on select or enter what? The delimiter, I will say what? Is space that is separating them, right? If they are separated by comma, look at it here. You choose what? Comma. So I am choosing what? Space. If they are separated by colon, you choose that option. So once I've done that, I'll click what? Okay. Now what will happen? They are separated. Can you see it now? Automatically. Now you have to rename. That's the last thing I'm going to teach us before I end the session. Have we concluded that step first? Now you now write what? How to rename the separated column. That's the last one for today before I end this. How to rename the separated column, because there will always be a need for that once you separate. How to rename the separated column. How to rename the separated column. So it's not just for this, in case you want to rename your data column from here after you have loaded it. You know, that thing that we are doing in Python, when we are renaming, adding underscore and all of that, it's very easy here. This is equivalent to it here. You just come here and right click and select what? Rename. It should be here. Can you see it here? Right click on the column, your steps. Right click on the column to rename and select rename. Right click on the column to rename and select rename. Right click on the column to rename and select what? Rename. Are you with me? Now, once I click on rename, what happened? Is already what? Highlighted. So I will say this one is what? First name, first underscore, or I will just use camel case, no space. Then I move to the next one. That is what? Acknowledge. Then I will also right click. Now, in case you don't want to right click, just double click on it. That's another fastest way of what? Selecting it. Then this one is what? Let's say surname. Okay. All right. So this is where we draw the curtain. You see how more of them. I've not finished all the one under column. So write in your notes, consideration of what? Column cleaning function. So I will remember. Please write it there. Continuation of column cleaning function. So your assignment is for you to go and look at different data, load all those data with a lot of error, go to cargo. You know, there are a lot of unclean data in what? Cargo. Then load them and try to exploit all this, because the data set you are working, the errors in it determine how you can actually what? Fully utilize what? All these functions. Any question? Any question? All right.